Good morning, Woodies. Happy Friday to everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Thank you, Lenny. And this is my show, Morning Wood, brought to you by Picks and Parlays and by Caesars Sportsbook. All right. New sponsor, everybody. It's Caesars Sportsbook, and I've got a promo code now. It's Woodful. All right. Head over to Caesars Sportsbook, use this promo code, or you can just click on the link in the description of this video. They're going to hook you up if you place $10 or more down, all the way up to $1,250. It's a risk-free first bet. All right. So win or lose, you're going to get that money back into your account, but they're also going to give you 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credits. Okay. So kind of a big deal. Reward credits, tier credits. That's how you get like your free hotel rooms, free dinners, your comps, right? Everyone in Vegas wants comps. It's all about the comp. That's how you know you're a baller, when you get stuff comped. So again, that promo code is going to be Woodful. All right. As in full of wood. Right? Makes sense. Does it though? Does it though? Okay. So, we've got 6 left in the last week's day. Josh Wells is hanging in there, Lenny. He's coming for your contest. He's coming for your contest. I told him I don't know if he's allowed to win the money because he's associated with me, but I don't think he cares.
Then nobody will be able to win the money because we're all associated with you.
That's true. That's true. Very true. Okay, so if you guys are just joining, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. So I did do some work on, I effing thought this game happened today, but it doesn't happen till tomorrow. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about again, right? I kind of ran through the stats, how I do the stats, and what comes out of it all for you guys 2 days ago. I'm going to show you again because this is a game where it happened all over again. All right, kind of a big deal. What else was I going to say? Oh, there is going to be a total chaos tonight. I'm going to do NFL. And if you guys are looking for the 3 college football games that happened today, it's already up on the Morning Woody Facebook page and on YouTube and on Twitter and all that jazz. So check out Total Chaos for the 3 college football games happening tonight. And stay tuned. We might just get a Lenny teaser based on those games. I know I like Buffalo that of tonight. I like Buffalo. I liked Buffalo last night too. And everyone tried to talk me off of it. And I was like, no, it's Bills. And everyone's like, no, it's Pats. And I was like, I don't think it is, but you guys know better than me. So there you go. I didn't bet it. That's what I did. I didn't bet it. But Bills in the under was the play there. Guys, if you haven't already joined the Morningwood Facebook crew, do it right here. Facebook.com/groups/Morningwood Picks. The results for day 1 of the HC are already up. We had 50 people enter the HC. 50 people. So that's fantastic, guys. And thank you for everyone who is grading their own picks. Anyone who does that is a boss for me. You're going to go Jets and Reg for your Woodrow. You got it, Harold. Jets in regulation. Okay, and then anyone with bonus picks, because we have a small board today, throw them in. Penguins moneyline best bet won last night. Your best bet is on the Rangers under 6.5 today. Good luck. I might use that for an HC pick. Rangers under 6.5. I'm a little bit stuck for my HC picks. I was looking at them this morning. I don't know. I like Maryland today. I will say that, but I'm a little bit afraid of it also. -110. All right. That's typically what a point spread is. You're on your way to Mexico? Down in Mexico. All right. All right. Well, have fun. Love me some Mexico. Yes. Allie Burns lesson time. All right. Everyone get your little, bye, Elliot V. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so the lesson plan again. We'll go through this one more time. So I already did the math for you guys, but I just want to show you again, right? The concept of this is when you're averaging out the stats, you're going to go, to say, and I just want to like explain this more clearly to you guys. So you know what I'm talking about. D1 more UNLV. So when I go just into my ESPN app, right? I'll click on UNLV Rebels men. They're going to play San Diego tomorrow. It's not UC San Diego. It's just San Diego. Anyway, so, you'll be on your little ESPN app. And right here, when I say the book, I mean these numbers where it says UNLV for and against and San Diego for and against, these little stats right here. That's the book number, right? That's the number that they are going to set the line off of. I feel like my camera, it is. I feel like my camera is going to fall. Okay. Got it. So that's what this number is, the book, right? Let me get a color marker. So this is the number that we're fighting. Let me get a color marker that works. So this is the number that they're setting the line based on, and that's the line that we're having to bet against, okay? So what we're talking about here is finding a true number, all right? This is not the true number because overtimes and Division II schools do not represent what UNLV or what San Diego are actually doing in real life. Here's how we find that out, okay? We take every game that UNLV has played, right? If you add them all together and average them, you'll get 78 and 58, right? They score 78, they give up 58. But if we take out D2s, which was the last game that they played, you'll see that number comes down 8 points to 70, right? Now, if you're betting on the total, the book has a total at like a 136. I don't know what the total of this game is, but UNLV's total is like a 136. It comes down to a 128, all right? If you take the high and low out of that, remember I taught you guys the high-low. If you have 5 numbers, you take out the highest number and the lowest number, and then you re-average again. That's called my high-low. That's just what I call. I don't know what else to call it. It's just what I've always said. It comes to a 73 to 57. But if you take out the take out the D2 and then re-average the high-low, it's a 69 to 58, which pulls us down to a 127. Okay. Kind of a big deal. There's a 9-point difference there. Okay. No, there's a 11-point difference there. No, there's 9. I'm doing it backwards. 9. We'll go 9. Solid, right? Let me teach you guys how to do math and shit. Okay, so now we have it with University of San Diego. Okay. Now they've got 2 that happened. When they played Utah State, they went into overtime. It was 11 to 13 in overtime. So right there, there's 24 points in the home or in the take and give that are off, right? So if we take out that overtime, now they're not scoring 80 a game. They're scoring 76. And they're not giving up 73. They're only giving up 70, right? Now they also played 2 Division II schools. No, they played 1 Division. Sorry, I circled 2 things. They played 1 Division II school. So now if we take that out, it's a 72 and a 71, right? 8 points less over here. Now, if we take out the overtime and the Division II and average it down, it's 74 to 73, which gives us a 147, okay, compared to the 153. So if you notice, these numbers, the book numbers, are both higher than what our true number is that we're looking for. So this would be a game. I don't know what the number is yet, but I would bet this game under. You know, I would guess it's like in the 145-ish range, somewhere in there. But I want you guys to understand that this is kind of how it works, right? Looking for the true numbers is going to be your angle when you're trying to figure out whether or not to go over or under a total. Now, I said when I did this with UNC and Indiana the other day, I told you guys this is really how I do totals, right? So say that like now what I'm looking for, if this is my true number and this is my true number, say the total's set at a 140. I've got 1 at 127. I've got 1 at 147. And then you kind of go from there. What I like to look for is if both of these numbers are over or under the line that they're hanging. Without knowing this number, it's kind of hard to do it. The other thing that you can look at here when it comes to the point spread is, look, this number kind of stays the same for UNLV, right? Which means that even when they played their D2, it wasn't a huge difference in their defense. It was a bigger difference in their offense that happened, right? UNLV allowed 56, 63, 52, 49, 68, 62. And for that D2, they still allowed 54 points. It was just the offense that really exploded there. Same with this, right? 73, 70, 70. This is all kind of the same number. So it's going to be the difference in offense. So like, as you're looking at it, right? That's kind of what I'm trying to pay attention to, is where those numbers don't all add up correctly for the number that's being offered me. All right. Makes sense? Everyone got it? Okay. There's going to be a test. Hi, Jim Pritchett. How are you, boo? I haven't seen you in forever. Looking fantastic. Well, thank you. Just going to listen today for some more bets to play, but USC and the over tease together and also go blue. Who are they playing today? Let's go through and look at some lines and see if we can see any movement happening. Because that's kind of, so like step one of this process is going through and seeing where the lines are already moving a different way. Or just going through your card and looking for teams that have overtimes and division twos in their last couple of games, because that's what's going to change the game. It's what's going to change how we're betting on it. So real quick, let's look at the college football lines. It's going to UTSA against North Texas, and it's going to an over, but that number jumped up from 65.5 to a 70. 78% of the cash is on the over in that game. I would kind of lean that to go under. The juice is on the under just because so much action's on the over, but it did move correctly. So maybe keep an eye on it. 7.5 went to an 8.5 with San Antonio. 52% of the cash is on San Antonio, which means that 48% of the cash is on North Texas. So it's kind of split there. If it was me, I would take the points on that one personally. I think they're raising up that number to even out both sides, however. So I don't like it when the line goes the right way. I like it to go the wrong way. 80% of the money is on USC, and the pick'em goes to a -2.5. So that's moving the right way. They're not quite bringing it to that 3, though. I like Utah in this game. I just do. I just think they're the better team. And then Akron and Buffalo, the -13.5 on Buffalo is down to a -12 with only 50% of the money on Buffalo. So that's another one where you can see they're trying to even out that line. That one also is going under. Looks like it's going under. USC looks like it's going over. That's the play there. Okay. You love USC and the over, Tate? I don't know about that. You're on USC minus the 2.5. I would have just money lined it. Switzerland game under 2.5, and the Warriors first half -4.5. Did y'all watch the World Cup this morning? Freaking South Korea, baby. Let's go. Let's go, South Korea. And that was one of those weird situations where South Korea and Portugal, they were playing against each other, but they both moved through because of what happened in the Uruguay-Ghana game. Right? Isn't that right? All the groups, man. All the groups. So Serbia and Switzerland, you like under 2.5. Okay. Let me erase all this and we'll start getting some picks up on the board for you guys. Okay. So everyone take UNLV under. Ah! That was crazy, man. Did you see that? That was nuts, man. That was my freaking magnets. Oh my god. Okay. Here we go. Holy heck. Okay. Switzerland under 2.5. Warriors first half. And if you guys have picks you like today, throw them in. -4.5. We like USC -2.5 and over. You guys like that. I don't like that. That's your business. Okay, that's y'all's business. It's a -130. I saw you post it. I responded in your deal, but it's a -130 in the HC contest. And it's 150 on last Woody. You like Towson, but it's -12 first half. I like Maryland too. Wondering about Kent. Let's look. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous about Maryland. It's because Illinois can be so hot and cold, but also I want to say I had like some strength of schedule issues in this one. Not Illinois State. There we go. The Fighting Illini. Okay, so Kent, 72% of the money is on South Dakota State. The 6.5 goes to a 7 for Kent. Illinois, Maryland. Illinois played Syracuse, Virginia, and UCLA. Whereas Maryland's played like Louisville, Miami, St. Louis. It's just, I think Illinois has had a tougher strength of schedule, but it is Maryland at home. So there's that. So that's just kind of a stay away game for me. You know, I'm not really into those bigger schools, but I love Maryland this year. So I don't want to like miss an opportunity. Kent State, the Golden Flashes. State. Oh, it's freaking hot in my house. Okay. I've been going all morning. I graded all the HCs. I would kind of lean more South Dak State there, but I would need to do some numbers on it. Okay, so Kent has played two really good schools back to back. They played College of Charleston and only lost by 2, and at College of Charleston, and they played at Houston and only lost by 5. So I could see where you're going with that. South Dak lost to JMAD by 19, beat Valpo by 11. Yeah, I might lean a Kent State way. I could see that at home, strength of schedule. I just hate betting against the Jackrabbits because, you know, they're one of my very favorite teams. My very, very favorite teams. Let's see if we have any doggy dogs. Anyone moving the wrong way here? So many games. Kennesaw State's going the wrong way. It looks like Kennesaw would be the play over Mercer. And by wrong way, I mean, I'm looking for a plus number to get smaller. That's my jumping off point. A plus number that is getting smaller is what I want. Because I want to bet on dogs, right? I'm looking for points to take, not points to lay. It doesn't seem like a ton of that's happening. App State went from a +7 to a +6.5. So we might want to look at App. I'm just going to make a note. App State. And who was the other one? Kennesaw, did I say? So we'll see what goes on with those two. And Canisius, -8 to a -7 would be a +7. App would be +6.5. And I think we said Kennesaw is a +7 too, didn't we? Did I say that right? Kennesaw State +4. So maybe tease all 3 of those because that's where our line movement is occurring. Towson I didn't look at. I'm not doing 12.5 points first half. You know me better than that. I'm going to take 12.5 points first half. Is how I'm going to do it. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but if I was going to do it, that's how I would do it. I'm going to look though. I like Towson a lot this year, though. Don't get me wrong. They're playing Long Island. That -16.5 went all the way up to a 19.5. So missed the best number on that one, which was kind of a big deal. Because first half, that number was probably closer to a 10 or something, you know. Strength of schedule. We'll take a peek. Towson's won their last 2 in a row. One was to Mercer, but the other one was they won by 2 to USA. Lost to Fairfield, beat Copen, and beat Greenville. So not the toughest schedule. LIU just played St. John, NIU, South Dak, Marquette. I think LIU probably has the tougher schedule, and they're at home. So I might look to taking points with those guys. You took someone HC picks both teams to score for the Portugal match. For all of you that aren't on Facebook, you should be. Exactly. I was talking with Craig about starting up a hotline. It was his idea. Hey, Tobias, Senators +1.5. About, you know how like Cam has his text line that we all use? Starting up a Woody text line where every day, you know, you would pay, say, $30 a month. So it's $1 a day. And every day I'll text you the top 3 handicap baton picks, the consensus picks, my picks, Lenny's teasers, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but that's what we were talking about. Maybe you'll look at NBA and NHL today. Maybe I could be totally wrong too, Julie. Like I've been going all morning. A half hour with Craig, all the HC picks, the Woodies, all of it. Maryland's wearing the Gold Rush unis. That alone is worth a money line lean. Over looks enticing as it may go into overtime. That's a good call too. It could go into overtime for show. Rocky likes the Celtics -7. All right. I mean, if you guys want to do math on the Maryland game, we definitely could. I could break that down for you, but I don't know. It's a strength of schedule thing for me. I'm afraid. I don't like the big schools. You guys know that I don't like betting on the big schools because those lines are going to be so much tighter than some of these smaller schools. And that's why we want to find the big school that did what UNLV is doing, that the book thinks that they're offering, the book's offering 7 more points for what they think they're worth. And then we want to find the little school that can compensate for that 7 points that's missing out of the book stat, right? That's kind of the jam here. God, Maryland's got a real tough schedule coming up too. Illinois, Maryland, UCLA, Tennessee, St. Peter's is coming, and then UMBC. Maryland's got a real tough road ahead of them. I'm sure Earle does too. Like for Illinois, taking out Monmouth, I think that probably upped the Illinois stats quite a bit because it was 103-65. So that would make me lean more in a Maryland way also, to tell you the truth. Michael, -125. Cameroon to score over half a goal. Let's go. Okay. Team total there. Some team total action. Action for y'all. Leonard, Bill, have you got a teaser for us?
No, it's already started.
Okay.
USC outright. USC wins tonight.
Really?
And it probably goes over. Yeah. Utah already won, and this is now in a neutral site. They won in Utah. This Utah team's not as good as USC.
All right, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
We'll give it to Lincoln.
I'm already on Buffalo and USC and too much shit. Brazil.
That's what you got early this morning, Heath. All right. Celtics team total over 60.5 first half and -6.5 full game as a same game parlay. And TT. Wait, I'm going to need another line for this. Okay. Celtics first half team total over 60.5. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with there. We got it early this morning. All right. What's up, Breaking Vegas Sports Bets? Who are you liking today? Who you on today? Sugar nuts. I don't know what to do for my HC. I got to do some work. Now I got to go to work. Okay. Nothing's coming up right there. Deal with it. We'll deal with it. All right. So did you send a link to Scott Reichel? I need one. He's the person. Scott Reichel is going to be coming in hot. Let me text him right now. Scott and I could not get our heads together for the prop drop this week. He was out 2 days. Then I scheduled him. Then I was going to make it later. Then it didn't work out. Hey, Lenny is sending a link now. Just pop on whenever you're ready. Okay. What's up, Tyreeki? Reeky. So if you guys missed the Handicapper day 1 was yesterday, but there's a lot of people that are already 0-2. So if you guys want to get in on the HC, now would be kind of not your last chance, because really you can join whenever. But it's a good time because you'd still kind of be like starting from the beginning. I'm going to show you guys the results real quick. Share the screen. Chrome the tab. This and this. All right. So, beep boop. I'm going to make you guys big so you can see your little names because there's so many of you. All right. So after day one, we've got a nice round of 2-0s happening. All right. Good job, Daniel Henderson. I see you in there. Rye, Rickett, Julie, the 1-0-1. She's my lone 1-0-1 person. She had a push. And then 1-1s. Me and Lenny both went 1-1. I think Tim Earle did a 2-0. Didn't he? Yeah, Tim Earle was 2-0. Tate was 1-1. Silky's 1-1. Rodney Molina. So all these 1-1s, and then we've got our 0-2s. So altogether, I've got 51. I've got 50 of you in there. All right. So if you guys missed it, don't worry about it. I mean, there's still a lot of people that are starting where you're starting at. So here is the link to the Facebook page once again, somewhere. And that's how you can get in. Remember the contest for the first place prize, it's $250. Second place is 100 and third place is 50. It goes all month long and your picks have to be under a -130 for you to join the contest. All right. I like the Warriors and Bulls under, LSU -19, Illinois. Okay. Someone else is on the Illinois train with me. Illinois outright and Baylor and the over in that game. Okay. So I'm going to make these a teaser. I'm just going to say the tease these. Allie's teaser. Boop, 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 boop. And then Breaking Vegas. Oh my gosh, with this little thing, what's happening? Vegas is going to go Bulls under. Baylor and over. Illinois and LSU -19. All right, Scott Reichel is here. Scott Reichel, what's going on, friend?
How's it going? Lenny taking coffee break?
He's doing things.
Okay.
He's preparing for things today. Hey,
Lenny, whoever called you in the middle of the show, tell them I say hi.
Yeah,
right.
I've already had 2 phone calls.
Of course you have.
That's how that works. Higgs likes Illy too. Okay, so I'm not. Who do you like in the Illinois-Maryland game? I like Illinois. A lot of them really like Maryland.
It's a little bit tricky because Maryland has been pretty underrated all season long. They ended up having basically a bye last game because Louisville is Louisville, and that's just an absolute lost cause. Hell of a time though if you've been fading Louisville from start to finish, but.
They're our new full-time job. We're not fading Steve Alford anymore. We're fading Louisville. That's our new full-time job.
Yeah, for me, it seems like Maryland might be the lean here. It's pretty tough. I think these teams are pretty even, if I'm being totally honest with you. But
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you can finish that point.
No, I think that Illinois has a tougher strength of schedule. That's where the difference comes in it for me. But then couldn't you balance that out with Maryland also being at home? You know,
that's kind of how I look at it. I think college basketball is one of the sports that I think home court advantage actually matters the most. Yeah. And I do think that Maryland, it's a ranked game. It's a late night game on a Friday. A Big Ten country is going to be pretty excited for that one. Mm-hmm. In a coin flip game like this, I tend to side with the home team. Mm-hmm. I'd go with Maryland. Defensively, they're pretty even. I do agree with you, though, about Illinois having the tougher schedule up to this point. But, I mean, Maryland's looked really, really good. And they went from unranked to being ranked 22nd. But I'm going to lean Maryland. It's a spot where I would rather take the home team, laying 1.5 than getting just 1.5 here. Has Illinois played a true road game yet this season? I don't believe
That's what I was actually just looking up.
I don't believe they have. So for college especially, I'm not going to lay points with a team that's playing its first true road game of the season. It's Maryland.
I mean, they played in Vegas. They played UCLA in Vegas. They were tournamenting, but it's not, I wouldn't call it a true road game because you don't have the true home court on the other side.
Yeah, but
is that what you mean by that?
You can say something about Maryland, though. Weren't they also involved in a neutral tournament there?
Yeah.
So I think that at the end of the day, it's Illinois' first game in a hostile environment of the season. I'm going to lean Maryland personally. But
all right. And yeah, I wouldn't lay a point. I would just money line that puppy if I did anything. I'm not laying anything with anybody. Or, I was also kind of looking, what I do in these pick'em games is I kind of look at who's better in the first half and get ready to in play, like set myself up for an in play. Like, okay, Illy is I don't know the answer, but Illy is the better second half team. So if they're up at the end of the half, then I'll be getting more points with Maryland and then I'll take it there, kind of a deal. Like I try to set out a plan for what I'm going to do next in a pick'em. And I just want to keep my eyes open for in-play opportunities. If Illinois gets up real big or Maryland gets up real big in that first 10 minutes, grabbing the points on the other side of that.
That makes sense.
Rachel the businessman. They're absolutely even, but Illy has a slightly better offense. That comes down to strength of schedule for me a lot of times too, though. Playing Lindelwood and Monmouth, but you're also playing Virginia, UCLA, and Syracuse. So still just a little bit early for me.
It's a little early, but at the end of the day, with two teams that I think are relatively even, I'll fade the team that has not played a true road game yet.
Right.
So I'll lean Maryland.
Who do you like today?
It's mostly NBA, actually. A couple of team totals. I like the Pelicans team total over 119.5 there against the Spurs. Spurs defense is absolutely terrible. I think New Orleans should walk into 120. I do like Orlando team total under, roughly 103.5. I think Cleveland's going to put the clamps down on them. I don't think they're going to score pretty much at all in this game. I think Orlando's going to finish somewhere in the 90s. I don't think they get to 100. But to go through the actual just numbers for Orlando recently, they're 1-9 straight up on the road. They're a terrible road team. But you're looking at the overall points scored. They had 108 against Atlanta at home, which is okay, I guess. Scored 102 against the Nets. Scored 103 against the Sixers. Scored 99 against the Sixers. And scored 102. Now they face off against a Cleveland team that's probably a top 5 defense in the league. I know Jared Allen's out, but they still have a lot of good defensive players with Okoro, with Mobley playing a bunch of minutes. I don't think Orlando has any talent, and that's why they're one of the worst teams in the league. But it's a low team total. Paolo's the only good player they have.
Well, it's some talent. It's not any.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, good point. It's a good point. But either way, the point is, I don't think Orlando gets to 100 here. They're barely breaking 100 against the Pacers and against some other bad defenses. Cleveland at home, 9-1 as well. I think Orlando's going to have a really hard time scoring in this game.
All right, I'm going to use that as my HC pick. I need HC picks, Rachel.
Okay.
So I'll take Magic under the 103.5 as one of my HC picks.
Is that what's the HC picks? I only know the BB picks.
The Handicapper time. You know the LWS picks?
Okay.
There's an HC, a BB, and an LWS.
Okay, cool.
And there used to be an LF, the last footy standing when we did football contests.
Okay.
Okay, so then talk to me about the Pelicans team total. What's your deal on them?
Spurs have the worst defense in the league, statistically speaking. They're dead last in defensive rating. On top of that, they're missing a couple of key defensive players. Jakob Poeltl's still out, their starting center. They're also missing Sochan, who is their best overall wing defender, who's not going to be available. But New Orleans is going to get back CJ McCollum, who should end up providing a bit of a spark. Zion has been incredible. He had 30-plus points against the same Spurs team about a week and a half ago, had 30-plus against Toronto last game. San Antonio can't stop anybody, especially in the paint. Both teams also ranked top 11th in pace. I see a lot of pace in this game. I see New Orleans scoring a bunch of points, but I do think you're going to end up seeing New Orleans probably get into the 120s, finishing with 125. But they just scored 129 against this team, and now San Antonio is missing one of their better defensive players. I think that the script is really just there for New Orleans to have a great offensive game.
Sugar. 120 just feels like a whole effing lot to me.
That's why I took 119.5. But if it's up to 120, then I can kind of understand it. It is a lot, but it's a lot until you look at San Antonio's recent games. They've allowed at least 119 in 7 of their last 9, and they allowed 119 to Oklahoma City with no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So Oklahoma City was missing its best player, and the Spurs still gave up 119. This defense is awful. It's complete fade territory. They're the worst defense in the league by far.
Okay, so is that is taking them over better than like -3.5 first half?
You could take that instead. I think I was a little bit hesitant because New Orleans on the road has not been great this season. San Antonio at home hasn't been great either. But the point is, I do think that since they just saw each other, you might just see a track meet breakout. I think New Orleans should cover, but I've laid numbers on the road this season, and it has not gone quite well, at least in the NBA. So I kind of wanted to eliminate the defense. I know Herb Jones is out, who's the Pelicans' best defensive player. So I just see points in this game. I think you're going to end up seeing a lot of points, and I'm hoping New Orleans contributes most of it.
Okay, yeah. So the total on it is a 232.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. I'm nervous about that one. I like the Magic play. I can get jiggy with the Magic, but 120 just kind of scares me.
I know it's a lot until you look at the Spurs' actual numbers and you realize like this defense is actually the worst in the entire league.
The link to sign up for our other event, the HC, here I'll drop it into the I will drop it into the chat, and then you can just click on it. It's over on Facebook, and yeah, if you want to get into the HC contest, this is the place to do it, right, Shell? You should get in the HC contest.
I forgot that's a month. That starts fresh every month.
A whole month long. Yeah, it started yesterday.
Okay.
I'm 1-1. Actually, you want to just be my person? You just feed me your picks, and I'll play for both of us.
You want to be my proxy? I'm not going to do that to you. No, I'll save it for next month.
No, I just mean you could give me your picks, and I'll use them under my name.
And then you get all the credit. Yeah, okay. We'll see. But I'll potentially join in January. You know, new year, new me, all that crap. I'll potentially join in January. So
do you have any New Year's resolutions, especially regarding sports betting?
Based on how it's going recently, winning a free pick would be nice. You know, that would be a good start. It's been a bit of a rough week or so for me, but it's gambling. You know, it's going to happen. You're going to have some ups and downs, but for the most part, I'm trying to think of if I have any real resolutions yet. I got a month left to figure it out. Yeah. What are my resolutions? Probably my main resolution would be to travel across the bridge more to take advantage of New Jersey lines.
Yeah, that's a good call.
That would be my resolution. Go on a few more field trips.
Do you not do it over your phone?
I can, but the point is that some markets, for example, awards for basketball, you can bet them in New Jersey, but you can't bet them in New York. Okay. So there's one prop that I absolutely love, and I already bet it offshore, but unfortunately, it's not available in New York, so I have to travel across the bridge to bet on the Celtics coach to win Coach of the Year. So I got to go across the bridge and bet it. So that's going to be a whole separate journey, but we'll see what happens.
Thought about getting a friend who lives across the bridge.
I had a friend who was across and he moved. So that ship sailed. So there you go.
All right. That's
but fair. I tried it, but then you have to give them your account information. You got to figure it out. And it's just annoying. You got to rely on a lot of people to get it done.
And you got to trust somebody with your money, which isn't the easiest thing to do.
I had somebody in Jersey. I had somebody who was in a law school in Penn who was placing bets for me, but he graduated, you know, fancy guy graduated law school. So now he moved back. I got nobody in Pennsylvania now. So I got to rebuild my proxy army, but I don't have anybody right now.
Picks and Parlay's own Hannah Mears is in Pennsylvania. So is my cousin Adam. So is Silky Man. We've got Pennsylvania people. You just let me know. I need to set up a proxy service. I will be the proxy to find your proxies.
I'm trying to think if Vegas has Coach of the Year odds. I don't know if they let you bet on awards in Vegas. I'm not sure.
Lenny, do you know that? Yeah, he's shaking his head. No,
I don't think they do. I think it's pretty much Jersey and Pennsylvania. That's basically it when it comes to awards, which is really, really stupid. But it's even the same for draft prop stuff. You can't bet draft props in New York, but you can bet on all of them in New Jersey because it falls under some fine print of it's not technically sports. It's like the specific type of betting, and New York doesn't let you do it. But I can make so much money betting on the draft and betting on awards every year that I really should make the trip over. But if you are available to bet it, I would bet on the Celtics coach to win Coach of the Year. I think it's an absolute bargain at like plus 320.
I'll write that down.
Like plus 300, plus 320. Boston's going to win 60-something games. That team is just incredible at basketball.
To win Coach of Year. Okay. We got it. Bam. Yeah, I don't like how the books are like that. There's so many, I mean, if you guys want to get into it, I don't know how many of you deal with offshores and stuff like that, but the amount of things that you can bet on is crazy. I was explaining this to my mom the other day that you can bet on at the end of the world, like if the aliens invaded us, that what country would they bomb first? But you got to like use some rational thinking here that if the aliens invade us, no one's going to cash out that effing bet for you, man. We're under alien attack, okay? Like all bets are off at this freaking point. But that's just it. They'll let you bet on things that will likely never happen, and if they do, wouldn't pay you out if they did. What's up, Lenny?
I got $5 on Arizona. That's where the first alien attack is at.
That's not California. That's not a country. So
well, you can get a little bit more specific and some better odds.
Oh, I didn't say.
I'm looking at plus 75,000. Arizona specific. Also, I wanted to mention because I saw this. If this guy wins Coach of the Year, I'll never watch college football again.
Oh,
I'm saying that.
Call your bluff on that.
Whoa,
boom! Put it on my mother's dead grave.
This guy is.
I'll say this.
As in Harbaugh.
As in Harbaugh, because this guy came out here in his khaki freaking pants and said, after the Michigan State incident in the tunnel, and these guys should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Meanwhile, you are hiding the fact that 2 weeks prior to this, your starting defensive tackle, Mazi Smith, who's also your defensive captain, got busted with felony gun possession, and y'all hid it till after the Ohio State game. GFY, Jim Harbaugh. I'll never watch college football again. Hit it. Convicted, or not convicted, I should say that. Charged, or what? Not even charged. They arrested him, let him go for the game, let him play the rest of the season, and then the day after the season, then you conveniently charge him with this? And by the way, the prosecuting attorney, U of M law grad student. Get the fuck out of here.
For the record, by the way, I hate to break it to you, but you might have to stop watching college football because he's going to win the award. It's going to happen.
Swear to Christ. This Akron Buffalo game will be the last game I watch. I swear to God.
Don't say that, Lenny.
I'll say it. I'll do it because that is the hypocrisy of all hypocrisies. Right?
That sounds like a you problem, to be honest. But
that's fair.
Tate's talking about how he meant in Michigan you can bet on NBA stuff. Yeah, I knew that. I believe Fox Bet in Michigan I think lets you do that. But the point is that I still have to travel in order to bet on stuff I want to, because even though I'm happy New York legalized sports betting, there are still a couple of wordings which prevent some props from being bet, which are annoying. Plus, Jersey gives you insane promos when you make the bets on stuff. And I want to bet potentially a couple thousand on Missoula to win Coach of the Year. So they'd give me a bunch of free bets. So I'm going to have to make the trip over at some point.
Tate's saying it's already at a plus 180. So that moved quick. What do you think about plus 400 on a Chiefs Super Bowl?
I mean, it's really tough to find another team to like because the NFC's weak. We can agree on that. Yeah. And the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. So if you piece 2 and 2 together, it means the Chiefs are the best team in the league. So I'm not going to roast you for taking plus 400 on the Chiefs, who are the best team in the league, probably according to the consensus, to win the title. Do I think they're going to? They have a really good chance. And I think we can agree that whichever team comes out of the AFC should be favored over the NFC. But we've seen the Bills kind of fall apart lately. We've seen a lot of the AFC teams. Cincinnati's interesting. This upcoming game between Burrow and Mahomes is going to really tell me a lot about the playoff landscape. If I had to pick a team right now, I would probably pick the Chiefs. I'd probably pick a rematch. I'd probably have Chiefs and Niners in the Super Bowl again if I had to pick.
Really?
I like the Niners this year. I think they're this year's Rams.
Now they're favored, though, to win the NFC, which is annoying. I like them getting value a couple weeks ago, but I'm really not sold on the Eagles. Props to them, though. I know that you have to win the games in front of you. I have money on them to win the division, which is nice because they're favored in every game this season because their schedule was a cakewalk. But I don't really trust that team. I think the defense is inconsistent. I'm still not totally sold on Hurts, but I will admit he has improved a lot over the last year or so. But I just think the Niners, the only issue is quarterback. But from top to bottom, they have the most talented team in the league. And I don't think it's really close. If you toss quarterback out, I think the Niners have the best supporting cast in all of football.
They're the best defense in football.
And you look at McCaffrey, you look at Kittle, you look at Ayuk, you look at Samuel, the offensive line. They really are a superstar quarterback away from basically being a guaranteed 14-3 team every year. Like, they're that good supporting cast-wise. But Garoppolo's going to do Garoppolo things, so you don't exactly know.
That's true. So who do you like in college football tonight, Rachel?
Well, college football, my actual favorite play is actually underway, and I actually liked Akron today. And they're up 9-0. So that's unfortunate. It's a random 1 p.m. makeup MAC game.
Is this a good time to in-play then?
I think they're going to win the game. They're up 9-0. The in-play is at plus 115.
I like Buffalo too.
Buffalo was 1 game away from reaching a bowl game. Then they just fell off a cliff. They haven't won a game in the last couple of weeks. And Akron randomly scored 40-something points last week. I thought Akron actually was pretty live to win the game. They beat Northern Illinois. The offense seems to have gotten going. It's mostly just fading Buffalo's coach. I think he's horrible. And if you've looked at how Buffalo has done, when you have several shots to clinch a bowl game and you keep blowing chances, and you didn't make a bowl game last year as well, I think it's just coaching. I don't think the coach is any good. And I think Akron was in a decent spot potentially to surprise some people. But Buffalo's lost 3 straight. I mean, you lost to Central Michigan, who stinks. You lost to Kent State, who's been very underwhelming. And now you're losing 9-0 to Akron at home. Like, I don't think Buffalo is going to make a bowl game. I think that they're dead to rights, to be honest with you. I think Akron's got value.
All right. Well, right now it's Akron plus 4.5 is what that line is at.
Plus 4.5.
Total
okay.
50.5.
So I guess Buffalo's driving because I saw it was at 1.5 a second ago.
There's only 21 seconds left in the quarter. So
I know going into the game, Buffalo was laying 12. There was no way in hell I was laying 12 with Buffalo. Like, that was not going to happen. It was either Akron or pass.
Yeah.
I thought they had a good shot to win the game at like plus 350.
I got Buffalo at -5 on a teaser with USC and UTSA against North Texas. But I'm on board with you as far as that Buffalo game. The team just starts fast and ends blah.
The issue with Buffalo, the
coaching is horrible.
The coaching is horrible, and it's even worse because they made a conference title game with Leipold several times, and then their new coach
from their own end zone.
Their new coach didn't even make a bowl game his first year after they won the title the previous year, and now they might miss a bowl game again. I think their coach just isn't good. And you look at the offense, they run the ball a lot. They don't generate any big plays in the passing game. They don't have any passing attack at all. And if you can stop the run, they're kind of screwed. And Akron's been experimenting a little bit with the new quarterback. They scored 40-plus points last week. I thought it was a decent buy low spot on Akron. But it's mostly just fading Buffalo's coach. I think their coach is horrible.
I thought at some point their talent has to take over. And I think they're a talented team, Buffalo, and their coaching just gets in the way. Very much like the Arizona Cardinals. Like, I think they're a talented team. The coaching just gets in the way. And Akron's just bad. So
Akron's bad, but once again, they won last week by 40. Like, I thought they were just undervalued.
Yeah, but I see.
That's kind of just my 2 cents. But I mean, for the record, I think that if Buffalo loses this game, I think the coach will be fired because you can't miss a bowl game 2 straight years with a Buffalo program that's been really dominant in the MAC. And that also implies that Buffalo would have lost each of their last 4 games to miss a bowl game. Like, that's fireable right there. That's rough.
Hell yeah. There's like 12 people in the stands. What do you think about that USC game? Did you talk about that?
For the USC game, it's tricky because the first game between these teams was just such a good game. It was so competitive. Utah went for 2. They won the game 43-42. I really like Utah as a team, but I'm going to lean to USC. I just think USC is the more talented team. Utah offensively, still a bit one-dimensional. They try to run the ball. They have Kincaid, who I love as a tight end. Do I like the receivers? Not really. I saw their quarterback Rising play horribly against Oregon. So I know that Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in all of college football. That's a massive advantage. USC's defense is not good. However, it was actually decent against Notre Dame. I thought it was actually okay. As long as it cannot get torched by Rising, which I think is definitely a decent situation that happens, I think USC is going to move the ball at will. So I'll take USC. Addison's still a great receiver. You still have a good running back in Jones. Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in all of college football. He'll be the number one pick in the draft whenever he ends up declaring. But I'll lean USC. I think it'll be close. But give me USC by like 7 if I had to pick.
Yeah, I love USC, and that's a teaser for sure all by itself, USC and the over. I think it goes over. I know it's a high number, but if this game went into double like overtime or some crazy crap like that, I would not be surprised. You know, I think it's a good old-fashioned track meet here, USC and the over. But I'm afraid of the over because it is a lot of points. But
isn't Utah a big defense school? Isn't that their whole deal?
Well, they were, except for the fact that USC still scored 41 on them in the first 42 on them in the first meeting. So
yeah,
it's a battle of a great defense against a great offense. But even Utah's defense, I think, is good. But I think it's a little overrated because against UCLA and USC, they got absolutely torched earlier this year. I think they're a bit overvalued defensively. Still a good unit, but
they give up like 21 points a game, but they're giving up 21 points a game, stopping, not very good the schools they played with good offenses. USC, they didn't stop nobody.
And UCLA,
South Utah, they give up 7. San Diego State, they give up 7. Arizona State, Oregon State, they give up less in the teens or less than 10. Then you play UCLA, you give up 32. You play USC, you give up 42. You know what I mean? You're giving up points to the only game I think that the Utah really played good defense on was against Oregon, and they gave up 20 points and they lost that game 20-17.
And even with that game, Even with that game, Bo Nix was injured and he played through injury. He looked awful throughout the game. But,
exactly. So I don't think Utah. I think to your point, I think Utah's defense a little overrated, based off schedule. Where USC is just, man, their
defense is not good, but it has gotten better as the season's gone on.
No, their defense is horrible, I think. I mean, they give up like 27, 28 points a game, but I think that they try to play a defense, but they really try to play offense. They concentrate 80% of their stuff on like offense.
Yeah, just saying. USC last week against Notre Dame, I thought was actually decent defensively, which is a step in the right direction.
So I don't know. I see it, USC just scores. They're going to score 40 points. They're going to score 40 points. So if Utah keeps up, then it goes way over. If they can't keep up, USC just runs away with this. This is a huge USC bet for me. I got it at -2.5, and this is gonna ruin my weekend if I don't win this goddamn bet.
The USC team total is at 34.5.
I like that. I like it over.
I'm trying to think if there's a way USC could win if it goes under. Like, I'm trying to think if that's realistic or not.
I mean, if it's like 42-17, it's 42-21.
Well, then they still go over. That's my point.
Well, what's the total at?
They said 34.5 for a
team.
Oh,
34. No,
that's what I was saying.
I'm wondering
if USC can win the game if they go under that number.
Oh, under 34.
Yeah. Could they win like a 34-20 type game? I don't think so.
No. I don't see them score. I just don't. And here's my problem. 34 is obnoxiously low for me, in my opinion. So because it's so obnoxiously low, I'm a little skeptical on it because, I don't know. That seems too obvious.
I'm just going to enjoy the game. That's going to be the official game on my TV.
And wait for in-play opportunities.
Maybe take a player prop. Rising rushing yards maybe, or Utah's running backs rushing yards. Utah's going to try to run it down their throats. I mean, that's what Utah does. Kincaid receiving yards. He's like the only receiver they actually target in that offense, as he's a really, really good tight end. And I think he's going to have a good game here. So, yeah, Addison could have a big game as well for USC. It's kind of pick your poison with USC because Caleb Williams can throw it to anybody.
He's so good.
He's so good.
I'm a little skeptical because the Rams are going to, finish in the top 3 for draft picks and Lions get that pick. I don't know if he's there at, like, say, 3.
Wait, which year?
This next year coming up.
I'm
just saying.
Not this year, a year from now.
Because he plays one more year.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not eligible for the draft.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't think what I'm saying is I don't want us to draft a quarterback because I want to go after him. My problem is I don't know if we're going to have a draft pick that high the following year. I have a little bit of faith in my Lions that they're not in the top 10 draft pick in 2024.
I personally think the Rams might fall off a cliff, so we'll see what happens. But
I don't know. I'm willing to trade both of my first round picks in 2023 for more picks in 2024 in the first rounds, so I can move up for sure.
There's 3 people
I'm trying
in
to
college.
stockpile shit.
There's 3 people in college that I have circled as guys that I clearly want, and none of them are eligible for this draft.
Nope.
It's Caleb Williams, it's Marvin Harrison Jr., and it's Perkins from LSU.
But Marvin Harrison Jr.'s got another year too, right? He can't come out this year.
That's my point. All 3 of the guys I just mentioned are my 3 favorite players who can't miss prospects, and none of them can be drafted this year. But Perkins for LSU is really good, and Harrison Jr. is a given. I mean, you can just watch that guy play. He's guaranteed to be a top 10 wide receiver immediately when he comes into the NFL. Harrison Jr. is crazy.
He's ready to roll right now.
No, that's what I'm saying. He could walk into the NFL right now, and he would be a top 15 receiver in the league. Absolutely. I think he's that good. But
absolutely, I can't wait for Jameson Williams to start playing for the Lions.
When is he supposed to come back, by the way?
This week or next.
Okay.
This week or next. So he's practicing in full, but there's no hurry to bring that speed to the field. We waited, and then they teased us with possibly a Thanksgiving Day game and him being around. But, they said December originally. It's freaking December. And I would love to bring him back in Detroit. And
your team's not fully in the garbage. Your team could potentially, figure something out.
I'm telling you what, we could win out.
That's a bit of a stretch, but
except for the Jets.
I'll tell you what, though. You did give Buffalo a hell of a run, but I kind of think you needed that game to make the playoffs. If you wanted any shot, I think you needed that game, to be honest.
But I mean, yeah. I don't know.
All right. That's all the football I can handle for today. Also,
what do you want to talk about?
In about 5 minutes.
What do you?
It's 3 minutes to go. I'm off work.
Okay. Cool.
I got to pull the board in. Well, I want to talk about basketball every day because that's what my show's about. But hey, it's all good. There's a lot of football people out there too. What we took from today, Lenny's teaser. He's digging USC and the over. That's what Lenny's going to tease. Rochelle likes Magic team total under 103 and the Pelicans team total over 120. Breaking news, Buffalo's coach is just not that good. And also Jim Harbaugh is a douche. And that's what we've learned today. If you guys are looking for Scott Reichel and more of his free plays, Scott, tell him what you're all about. Tell him what's up.
You can find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio, posting free picks every night on Winners and Winers. Also did the college show early this week because there are a couple games on Friday. So that got posted yesterday. So how's the hand, by the way? Still burnt?
I just got it. There's a little scab that was hanging.
I was going to say that oven door shouldn't have been standing there,
Bastard ovens.
Either way, I do podcasts, I do picks. It's all, you can find it all on my Twitter. So it's all free. There you go.
All at Reichel Radio. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to let you go so I can pull them in. They can take a picture of the board. Have a great weekend, man. Let's make some money.
And I'll see you on Monday. For
primetime prop drop Mondays. We're doing it.
Yep, sounds
We're
good.
getting the band back together.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Okay.
And Lenny, I'll see you around. Bye.
Okay.